Hi friends, welcome to Tech Blog. Today we are going to install and configure Proxmox Virtual Environment. Proxmox Virtual Environment is an open source server management platform for your enterprise virtualization. It tightly integrates KVM hypervisor and LXCs, software-defined storage and networking functionality on a single platform. With this integrated web-based user interface, you can easily manage VMs and containers. So are you ready to build an open source and feature-proof data center with Proxmox Virtual Environment? Yes, of course. In order to install Proxmox Virtual Environment, system requirements are: for production server, high quality server equipment is needed. And recommended hardware for Proxmox VE is Intel EMT64 or AMD 64 with Intel Virtual Technology or AMD View CPU flag. Memory minimum 2 GB for OS and Proxmox VE service, plus designated memory for the guest OS. For SAFE or ZFS, additional memory is required. It's approximately 1 GB per TB storage. Open up your web browser. Now go to search and just type Proxmox. Then click on download page for Proxmox. From this list, you need to download Proxmox Virtual Environment. Click on download button. After downloading the ISO file, you need to make a bootable disk or USB. So let's go and spin up your Proxmox bootable disk into your system. And here you can see the installation wizard started. Select Proxmox VE and hit enter key. Now select your target hard disk and click on next button. Now select your country, time zone and keyboard layout, then click on next button. Here you need to set your root password, confirm password again, then give a valid email address and click on next button. Now it's time to set up network configuration. Select your management interface and then set your host name. After that, put your server public IP. I am doing this experiment in my local environment, so I used local IP. You may modify as per your scenario. After that, click on next button. Here you can able to see the summary before finally install into your system. Click on install button to proceed further. Now sit back and relax until installation is completed. I'm gonna fast forward this video because it will take a while to install. Here you can see the installation successfully completed. Now, next you need to restart your system. And before restart, copy or note down web management access. Here you can see the Proxmox web access port is 8006. You can see here my server reboot has been completed. And now I am able to access my Proxmox server through any computer in my network. So go ahead and open up a browser in any computer and type the IP address of your Proxmox server and point to port 8006. URL must be HTTPS protocol. Yeah, here it is. By default it has self-signed SSL certificate, so you have to accept the exception to get in. Here it is. Now you have to log in into Proxmox web-based management system. Go ahead and log in with your root user. Type password whichever you have set at the time of installation. Here you can see the Proxmox dashboard with the integrated web-based user interface. You can easily manage VMs, containers, highly available clusters, or the integrated disaster recovery tool easily. The Proxmox virtual environment user interface consists of 4 regions. Here you can see, first is header section. On the top, it shows the status information and contains buttons for most important actions. Resource tree. At the left side, a navigation tree where you can select specific object. Content panel. In this center region, it displays configuration options and status. Log panel. At the bottom, it displays logs entries for recent tasks. You can double click on those entries to get more details or to abort a running task. Here in the leftmost panel, you can see the data center, and under your data center, you can manage multiple Proxmox nodes from different locations easily. For now, I have only one node under my data center. When you select an Proxmox virtual environment node, the content panel shows some status and configuration. Here the first element is search. You can search any container or VMs under this particular selected node. For now, you can see 2 storage locations, one for PVE OS and another for container and VMs. Next after search is summary. Here you can see full summary like CPU usage, load average, RAM usage, HDD space, network traffic, etc. of your selected object like PVE node, containers or VMs. Next is nodes. Nodes is the place where custom nodes about a node can be written. Next is cell. It logs you into the cell of the node. You can execute all commands from here. Next is system. Here you can configure the network, DNS and time, and also shows your system log. Next is updates. It will update the system and inform you about new packages. Next is firewall. In this section, you can define firewall rules to secure your node and container. You can define what traffic let you in or out. Next is disk. It gives you a brief overview about your physical hard drive and how they are used. Next is safes. It is only used if you have installed a safe server on your host. Then you can manage your safe cluster and see the status of it here. Next is replication. It shows replication jobs and allow you to create new one. For replication job, you need at least 2 identical nodes. Next is task history. Here you can see the list of all past task history. And finally, subscription. Here you can upload your subscription key and get a system review in case of support case. Now look into your node. Here you can see only 2 storage objects under the local storage you will find in content section. And from template, you can load a wide range of waste template for your node. Just select template and click on download button. Also, you can download LXC's container image from Proxmox official websites. Download completed, and this Ubuntu 20.04 LTS LXC's container ready to deploy into your PVE, Proxmox virtual environment node anytime. You can also upload ISO image for any OS to deploy as a virtual machine. Just click on upload and then select your ISO file and upload it. Here you can see the Proxmox node automatically segregate ISOs and LXC's container template. Now at the top header section there are 2 buttons. One is create city for creating LXC's container from container template, and another is create VM for creating virtual machine from ISO file. So let's go and create a LXC container. Here you can see the wizard follow the steps to create container. In general section, put hostname and password for your root user. If you want to passwordless login, then you have to load SSH key here. I'm gonna left it blank for now. Click on next button. Now you have to select the template from template drop down list here. You can see all your loaded template here. Click on next button. Now you need to allocate the disk space for your container and then click on next. Now you have to allocate the CPU cores as per your operation need. After that, click on next. After that, you need to allocate RAM and swap memory as per requirement and then click on next button. Now at this point, you need to configure your network for the container. Select NIC and set the IP for your container and then click on next button. At this stage, you need to set DNS resolver. I am using Google public DNS resolver. So here it is. After that, click on next button. And finally click on finish button to deploy the container. Here you can see the container deployed successfully. Click on start button to start your container. Container started and here you can see the status of container. Go to console and log into your container. And here it is. You can increase or decrease resources like HDD, RAM, CPU any point of time. You can edit your network configuration under network section and similarly DNS and other resources. In snapshot section, you can able to take snap your container any point of time. It's a very important and useful tool which gives you ability to roll back among different states, especially when you doing an experiment with your container. So that's all. Hope this video helpful to you. Please like and share this video. Leave comment if you have any question. Also click on subscribe button to encourage us and get latest update. Thank you.